Well, that's it. WrestleMania 38 main event, night 2 is in the books. Of course, you get 2 nights now, don't you? So you get 8 hours of wrestling goodness, whereas I remember when you used to get 3 hours of WrestleMania, and I think it was a better show because of that. That just could be because I was more into the WWF as it was then than I am the WWE as it is now. I don't watch many WWE programs because I'm trying to concentrate on things I actually enjoy doing. However, nostalgia ain't what it used to be, and that's quite a headline for this WrestleMania 38 with McMahon coming back as an in-ring performer, and he might have been there every week recently. I wouldn't have seen it. And certainly Stone Cold coming back. More of that in other YouTube videos to come. But this main event, Reigns versus Lesnar, unification fight, is a different matter. And we know what we're going to get with the wrestling, I think. But it's the branding situation that's interesting. Who's going to get the nod here? Do you give this to Lesnar, who's not going to always be there, but he has got a belt already, so that kind of nullifies that. He's got a following, he looks good, he wrestles well, he says what he wants, his character, people are happy with it, they like it. I'm not massively keen on him, but that's just me. Or do you give it to Reigns, because the head of the table storyline is the biggest storyline and the best storyline in WWE at the moment. A WWE that I think is struggling with angles and storylines and all of that. Do you give it to him to continue that, or do you say that Lesnar gets it and we got strong enough writers to be able to take the head of the table storyline somewhere else? I'm not sure they have got strong enough writers to do that. And if you give it to Reigns, what do you do with Lesnar? Because then it makes him look weaker, and the man-beast can't take much of that. Well, the match itself was kind of what you expected. Lesnar started strong, punches, kicks, 2 nice belly-to-belly or belly-to-back suplexes on Reigns. You've got the situation with Heyman, who's there as Reigns' advisor, who's been to the dance with both partners, naughty gentlemen. And he was bound to have a confrontation with Lesnar. Lanes? with Lesnar or Lanes? With Lesnar, and he does early on. He wants to make a big point, so he sort of doesn't allow any air. What could have happened was he could have been looking from Reigns, prone on the ground, and then looked up and seen Lesnar, and we could have had some fear in there. Unfortunately, he looks up, and before he really sees Lesnar, he says, "Oh God!" So he kind of blew that moment, but when Lesnar's kind of walking towards him, he's doing it was all Roman's idea. I love you. It was all Roman's idea. Then we get a spot we've seen many, many times, which is the Reigns spear through the barricade. I think I've seen it 3 times now in pay-per-views. So why would you? We got the usual F5, kick out, spears, kick out. We got all of that. We got a ref bump. We got a low blow right in the twig and berries. We got a belt shot. A really horrible looking reverse spear to Lesnar's back. As if Lesnar was saying, what do you want me to do with that? I can just fall over. What else can I do with it? Very, very little. There was a really nice spot where Reigns went to spear him, i.e. Lesnar, and Lesnar grabbed his arm and hit the armbar, which was great. It really cinched it in. But eventually, Reigns was given the nod. Couple of spears, done. And we leave with no pictures of Lesnar, a defeated Lesnar. We leave with pictures of Reigns with the 2 belts walking up the walkway. It's a bit of a quiet way to do it. There were no run-ins, nobody... There was no kind of... Well, here's, I don't know, the Queen of England coming in. You know, there's no kind of special guest, because we've already had Stone Cold, and he was there earlier on the second night as well. But it all ended with a bit of a whimper, to be honest. And people were a bit quiet about Reigns getting it because he's a heel, and a lot of people would have preferred Lesnar to get it, I think. I think the place would have been a bit more excitable. It feeds into a storyline, and I like that, but this is the biggest event of the year. The match itself was pretty utilitarian. There was nothing, you didn't think, I've never seen Reigns do that before. I've never seen Lesnar do that before. F5s galore, Superman punch, spears galore, no guillotine. And it was pretty boring, to be honest. And that's your main event of WrestleMania Night 2. But then it wasn't about the wrestling. It was about the choice that was taken. And so the match is bound to be a little bit ordinary. The choice, maybe not the right one. But you can't please all the people all the time, can you? And you certainly can't if you're the WWE. Ta-ta.